So, launching a YouTube channel is like launching a business. And these are all things that you can do before you even sit down to record a video. And doing these things is really going to get you into the mood and into the spirit of doing this whole YouTube thing. So, we're going to run through like a checklist. And the first place we're going to start is with research and learning. Number one, you want to find a designated space to hold all your YouTube stuff, anything related to YouTube. So this can be digital or physical. I am a digital person. I use Notion, but this will be a place to hold your ideas, um, video planning, the systems that over time you'll end up making within your YouTube channel and how you run things, how you do things, hold your systems, your processes, and everything else included in your YouTube ecosystem. You want to have one central location so that you're not all over the place. I remember at a certain phase in my content creation journey overall, I had multiple notebooks with different ideas, and all my thoughts and plans in regards to content creation was all over the place, and it was hard to stay focused with it. When you're organized, things flow a lot better. So get you a place to hold all your YouTube related stuff. Then you want to decide what theme or themes you want to share on your channel. So this could be looked at as content pillars, or there's other words for it, but think about what do you want to even talk about? I think there's merit in simply turning on the camera and start recording and start talking to the camera, but take it from me, who this is my second YouTube channel. When you just pump the brakes, slow down, and think about, okay, what do I want to talk about? And centralize that question, the answer to that question around about three themes. I think three is like the magic number because I am a person that believes you should niche down. But niching doesn't mean you talk about one specific subject. It just means you have a focus of your channel. And within that focus, you can have three different things. So let's come up with some type of an example. Um, let's say the focus of your channel has to do with home decor. Many different subjects fall under the category of home decor, but on your channel, you want to talk about how to budget in order to decorate your house and make sure your house always brings a vibe for you to create and live in and everything like that. You also talk about where is the best places to shop for home decor and home improvement and everything like that. And the third thing that you talk about on your channel is DIY home decor. That all falls under the theme of home decor. But as you see, if you're being budget conscious, if you are being really strategic about where you get these home decor items, and then you're even willing to do DIY, that speaks to a very specific type of person that's interested in home decor. This is not the person who likes luxury, glam, everything. I don't care how much it costs. If I want it, I'm going to get it. This speaks to a certain person who, yeah, they like their home to look nice, but they don't want to break the bank doing it. Now you're specific with who you're targeting with your content, and you have three different themes that you can discuss under the umbrella of home decor. Over time on your channel, you may branch out and want to discuss other things, but it should be related to home decor in some sense. And I hope that was a good example for you. A real life example of what I just shared is a creator on here. Her name is Kiva, DIY with Kiva, I believe her channel name is. And she often does videos about different home decor finds that you can find on Amazon or Target. You know, those types of shopping places are perfect for the person interested in home decor that doesn't, again, want to break break the bank. And I'm just going to quickly bring up her channel so that you can even see what I'm talking about. I want to give you a real life example. You want to, and again, we're on the point of choose the different themes or content pillars for your channel. So let me just share my screen. So this is DIY with KB. Her name is Kiva Brent. And look, the first video that she has on here is called Amazon Favorites You'll Love. Want to know the hot new affordable home finds in January 2024. This is a real life example of what I just shared. Check her out if you want to. She often does, you see this video in the middle here? Can you spot the difference? RH inspired decor finds. RH is a very expensive home decor brand or a high-end home decor brand. She shows her audience how to do that for the low. So again, just we won't get too far away on this, but I want to make things clear for you. I'm a visual learner, so I want to show you visuals when I can. The next thing you want to do, which I think is pretty fun, is create a vision board of what you imagine your channel to look like. Doesn't that sound fun to do? You can do this again in that central place where you're keeping all your YouTube related stuff. Go on Pinterest, right? Go on Pinterest. And start to visualize your YouTube channel. If your YouTube channel is a physical location and you had to interior design that physical location, what colors would be in there? What is the vibe? What is the essence? What are you inspired by on your YouTube channel? Doing this exercise is one of the best ways to immerse yourself into being a YouTube content creator. What does it look like? You know how there's branding on your YouTube channel, you know, that channel banner or your profile picture. Get inspired. What do you want that to look like and feel like? I think feeling and emotion is going to be very important to focus on in this kind of vision boarding of your YouTube channel. Back to my analogy of if your channel was a physical location, if it was a storefront, however you have to visualize it, you want people to come in. You want people to engage with you. What do your thumbnails look like? Get inspiration. Go on your competition or people in your niche or people outside your niche, you know? Do you find thumbnails that you like the design of? No, you may not be good at thumbnail creation, don't know where to start with thumbnail creation, don't know it, have any clue about that. But if you have a vision of what you would like your thumbnails to look like, at least starting out, it will be very helpful to you in the process. Visuals are important not only for you, but for your future viewers. What is another point that I want to mention there? So I have written here, even though your channel is a digital environment, it's still somewhere that you're inviting people into, just like your home or your office. So the process of cultivating this space should be as if it was a physical location that your customer was actually walking into. You know, I just said that, but I'm driving the point home. Your YouTube channel is a visual representation and extension of your brand. So treat it as such. Let's take a moment. I do want to say hello, Shuggy, Carol, Qualis. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing any names. I don't mean any harm. It's BB says Team Nala. That's sweet. Qualis says quails, bees, and gardens. I'm all messed up with that. That's good insight. Cozy Koa says, I disappeared for a few weeks and you're at 2K. Congratulations. I appreciate the love. Cozy Koa. Yes, I've been over here working. I've been working. And Jesse waves hello. Hello, Jesse. So let's move on. Again, and if you got, well, I didn't mention this yet, but whether you're watching live, watching on the replay, please Feel free to ask any questions. I am an open book. One more hello before I move on. Diabetes Mindful Talks. Hello. So, within this area, this phase of researching, what are we calling it? Research and learning. You got to start watching videos on the topics that you envision creating content around. You have to get yourself into the space of your viewer. And a really great way to do that is when I say watch, I mean like have YouTube on as often as you can. Even just listening to the type of content you envision making will make you a better content creator on that particular subject. Also, when you're watching content within your niche, you can start thinking of these certain questions. What would you change? What do you want to incorporate? What did these people in your niche leave out? Because everyone doesn't cover everything. There's always something that someone forgets, and that's where you could come in and bring up that topic and kind of come in with a different angle. What will you do differently? You want to stand out. Watching people's content in your niche is not about copying their content. It's about researching the competition. That's something that you do in business. You don't just create a business and go into it blind, not knowing what your competition is doing. So why would you do that with your YouTube channel? So not only what can you do differently, but what can you do better? When you're able to answer these sets of questions that I'm sharing out with you, this is really where you start to find rich content ideas. So while you're watching people's content within your niche, make sure that's why I started. I started with saying find a designated space to hold your YouTube related stuff because you're going on a pre journey before you actually get started with your YouTube channel. So, yeah, these questions can be floating in your mind and you can be coming up with very good ideas that should attract the audience that you're trying to build, because we're not just on here trying to get views. We are trying to build a community. We are trying to build a group of people that want to engage, listen to, partake in the content we're passionate about creating. So, just to summarize that, one of the best ways to learn is by watching. You know the phrase, watch and learn. So really apply that in your process of gearing up to your YouTube channel. And it's not only watching as a consumer anymore. And some say, oh, this takes the fun. When you become a YouTuber, watching YouTuber isn't as fun anymore because you develop a very critical eye. But me, I don't mind it. I'm able to have a critical eye and still enjoy the content. But I'm looking for ideas constantly whenever I'm watching anything. So you have your favorite YouTubers. They may not be in your niche, and that's why I just want to reiterate, watch content within your niche and make sure you look at it with a very, very critical eye. The next thing is this one might not be as fun. This one is where it gets a little bit real. You want to create a list of YouTube startup expenses. What is that? As the things that you want to purchase to get started with your YouTube channel. Just breaking that down, not everyone is familiar with these types of terms. Startup expenses is something used in business. So I think that the things that probably come to your mind when I say that are purchases like a new camera, microphone, tripod, video editing software, and other things. But it goes beyond that. There's a lot of hidden costs when doing YouTube, especially in the day and age of AI. I just came across some AI editing software today and it was so good. I'm like, how much is it per month? I'm really considering paying for it because you know why? It makes the process of creating YouTube videos easier. So you don't know how many of these softwares necessarily you might want to use without doing your research on that. Um, and then whatever you buy for your content creation is going to be considered a business expense. So that's why you want to have a detailed list. You don't want to just fumble across a camera. You don't have no receipts for it. You don't have no proof that you purchased it, because without that proof, you it's less likely that you'll be able to successfully write this off as a tax write-off. All your anything you spend, I'm talking even a portion of your Wi-Fi, that's a business expense because you should be treating YouTube as a business. And I don't think I have this here on my research and learning portion, but in that, I'm not no CPA or anything like that, but you want to, if you can, get an LLC or whatever structure is appropriate for you for your channel. By making this list, this YouTube startup expenses list, you can get a good picture of the investment you're going to be making. There's a lot of advice, right? Oh, just start with your phone. Just get started with your phone, which I wholeheartedly believe in. But for those of you that have a little pocket change, for those of you that can come up off some bread, you can get the money from somewhere. You can ask your family members, crowdsource, do something. Invest in your channel. Do it early on, because quality does help. It's not everything. And start with your phone, but understand there'll be a point where if you can make it work, invest in a camera, invest in a microphone, invest in lighting. And by making this list beforehand, you can have an idea, okay, this is how much this investment is going to cost up front. You don't have to go big and go hard right in the beginning, but what are the basics? What are the things you're willing to put money towards in the beginning of your YouTube channel? Get clear on that. Because you might watch a lot of videos on like, oh, start your YouTube channel, and they're shouting out all these different equipment, and you might get trigger happy and start buying stuff when you didn't need it right then and there. Figure out what's best for you. Like for me, I have this light right here. I don't have a lot of sunlight in my home or really good lighting in here. So I made the investment in my light because I knew it would be best for my channel. So you have to decide what works for you. Research cost-effective ways to begin if your cash flow is limited. Get creative. Don't sit there and act like you don't have no money. If your cash flow is limited, that doesn't mean zero. Get creative. I was on Instagram yesterday. Let me see if I can pull up the screenshot. Someone, their laptop broke randomly. And you know what? You know what she did? She created, let's see if it will. She created a GoFundMe. You see, it says $2,300. By the time I saw it, 3 hours had passed, and I was going to go donate to her cause because she's a fellow content creator. I could, support that. You never know who's going to support you. But long story short, I was going to donate. 3 hours had passed since that post. She had 975 of that 2,300. That's very close to 50% already, and the day wasn't even done. So for those of you that feel like I don't have the money, stop saying that. Do not speak that over your life. Figure it out, get the bread, and invest where you can. The point is on this, along with that, you need to track every cent you spend on starting and operating your YouTube channel from here on out. This is a business. This is a business. So we're going to get into the next section here. Branding. I'm going to go a little bit further in branding because I mentioned this in your vision board, getting a vision of your channel. We're going to talk about what does that branding kind of look like and some of the things you can think about. What's your channel name going to be? Do you know what your channel name is going to be? Are you going to use your name? Are you going to use a business name? What are you going to have? Are you going to use something more traditional, like back in the day, how you would create a username? Back in the day, it wasn't that long ago, but my name was Natural Nala. I wanted something cute. hmm I wasn't. This was when it was far less popular to just be out on social media with your whole government name. But nowadays, if you're building a personal brand, my suggestion is, or what I want to point out, when you're starting a YouTube channel, you're building a personal brand. So please consider the value in using your first name and your last name. But everyone's different, you know? What is the name of your YouTube channel is going to be? And weigh the pros and cons. Weigh that heavily. Don't just make a rush decision. In my notes here, I have the way you decide to identify your channel should consider whether or not you're building a personal brand or a business brand, which I kind of just touched on. Do you want to lead with the name of your business, or are you going to use your own name? Um, I do acknowledge that you could desire to do both because I did too. I in my first channel, I led with my business name. But what I found is when you are a brand new business or not an established business, people don't know you and they don't know the name of your business. And it's like using a business name can sometimes create a larger disconnect between you and the audience you're trying to build. When you have your name, people can feel like when you meet someone, you give them your name. You don't say, "Hi, my business name is this." You know, this is like YouTube is a relational platform. So even though you may have a business that you're building in the beginning, you might want to just leave with your first name. So people can just feel like, "Oh, good to meet you." You know? I hope that makes sense. And you can build your business brand on the back of your personal brand. That's what actually the way I encourage people to do it. Um, so I have a lot of different notes here. This means your business, but basically it's just saying like even if you're using your personal name, your name for your channel, the subject matter of that channel can still be about what's related to your business. Do you see what I'm saying here? Just because you use your first and last name doesn't mean this is a lifestyle channel that's showing off your interests and your hobbies and the random things that you do in your life. If you want to be a lifestyle influencer, that's a different story, but use your brand, use the connection that you make to or use your name and the brand that you build off of your name to build a strong business later down the line. Um, Eventually, you and your business will be able to stand as separate brands, but it takes time. It takes time. It takes time. I think a question to ask yourself in the process of what should the name of my channel be is, will people, your future customers, supporters, clients, really give a shit about you or about me? I'll put it in the, will they give a crap about me or would they much rather get to know my business that I'm building? Would they give a crap about me or would they much rather care about the business that I'm building? I feel like a lot of people, like, you want to make money on YouTube, but you come to YouTube talking about yourself and doing stuff about yourself, you know? How can viewers benefit from that? If you want to be a lifestyle influencer, that's a different story. But you always have to keep your viewer in mind. If YouTube is a hobby for you, then you may not have liked anything that I've said so far. But if YouTube is something you want to make into an income, if YouTube is something where you want to use as a launch pad to build a business, you got to keep the viewer in mind. And even if you don't even have a business idea started, consider the pros and cons of just coming on here talking about your stuff and talking about things that could be relevant to a group of people that are like-minded with you, a topic that everyone can connect and learn from, grow upon. Value, 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 value. Value is the word. Let's take a break. Let's see what you guys are saying. I just want to take a moment to say thank you to Abigail. Look, we got to put the hearts up. Abigail, thank you so much. You are so sweet for sending me a super chat. I appreciate that so much. And just want to say hello to you as well. To Hira, to Hira, hello. If you're here, still finally caught you on live. You have been motivating out of me. I love to hear it because I'm motivated. My foot is on the gas right now. Nino America asks, what stream software do you use to stream great content? Just want to bring to your attention, to Nino and anyone else curious, all that information is in the description box of this video currently. I use StreamYard, and you can get a 2-week free trial courtesy of Think Media for StreamYard. And then when you're ready to pull the trigger, use my link to get $10 off. Yes. And hello to CJ's, just saying hello to anyone. Coach Sherry, hello, hello. You guys are wonderful. All right, so on your channel, there's an about section. I did not fill out my about section for the longest time because I just didn't know. I gave myself time to flow and figure things out, so you could do that as well. But it does hurt. It doesn't hurt to take it doesn't hurt to take time to think about what is going to be on your about section. Don't ignore this part because it comes up on mobile right underneath your name. It's visible to the viewer. So don't waste this real estate of your channel. Create something that is short and to the point, but that still allow you to inform your audience of who you are, what they can gain by subscribing. Key words here, short and to the point. If you want to put a bio about yourself, if you want to talk more about yourself, that's where you create a personal website. That's another thing that you can do as you prepare for your YouTube channel. But for this about section, short and sweet, short and sweet. People don't have all day and they want to get to the videos. So just keep it short and to the point. This is also a place to include more links to help you promote and grow other areas of your online presence. Put your Instagram, put your TikTok, wherever else you're relevant. When you create that website, or if you have it already, pop it into your about section. Use YouTube as a place to point other people in other directions to wherever you may be online. So Shuggy has a question. If I documented a health journey, would that make me a lifestyle influencer? In my opinion, no. Lifestyle influencers, they literally turn on the camera and bring us throughout their day, doing all the random stuff in their life. There's a theme eventually as they make more of those kinds of videos and you get to see their lifestyle that creates their personal brand, whether it's good or bad. They're messy, they eat out all the time, they shop all the time, the places they go, whatever they show becomes their personal brand. It's harder to curate a particular image when you're just vlogging every day. If you documented a health journey, this is a wonderful business opportunity for you later down the line. No one here starting a channel needs to even worry about selling to nobody right now. You need to just focus on building the audience and building relationships. And for example, here, documenting a health journey, any type of journey is a beautiful way and a beautiful place to start a channel. Other people are on health journeys. And if you create content, this is the thing, you can create vlogs, but I would be very careful. You can document a health journey in other ways besides a vlog. What did you learn on your health journey Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Because you should be having light bulb moments go off every week, every day, every month. How can you turn that into a topic to teach somebody? I'm building an educational brand. And so I'm often gonna see how can you teach? You don't have to be an expert. You just need to be a few steps ahead somebody else. So make some videos where anyone else on a health journey can get value from you. So I would mix it between vlogs or more like come along with me stuff with educational stuff of some sort. I learned this, or I finally stopped eating McDonald's every weekend, and this is how I feel. Always lead into feelings and emotions. Tell us your thoughts. Think about using your channel as a diary in a sense. Don't need to use that wording in your titles, but it's like, how did you feel getting over not eating Twinkies every night? And I'm not saying that's what you do. I'm just using that as an example. Like on a health journey, you have to stop doing certain stuff and start. How do you feel now that you drink green juice? Now that you're open, and guys, this is not that good, but I'm just trying to be healthy, you know? So it's like, and I love how you would just want to bring people on a journey. So I hope that makes sense. CJ says, yes, I want to do a health journey too. And CJ's, they're more specific. Talk about my PCOS and ADHD. So that's where you find specific people. And I just want to talk about the business opportunity for someone who wants to do health journey stuff, or just whatever your niche is. Hear what I'm saying. By building a community of all these people interested in your health journey or your PCOS and ADHD, later down the line, you can monetize that audience in some way. I'm not talking about brand deals and everything like that. You could create a product or a service that's relevant to these people that y'all connected on this particular topic. You can, and they trust you. The reason I said don't worry about selling nothing to nobody right now, because you're building trust, and while building an audience, you're building trust. It's going to be easier to sell something when people trust you, when you have like, know, and trust. I don't want to get too far away on business stuff, but I think these were great points to bring up. What's the name of that restaurant? Damn, Fresh to Order. Okay. All right, great. So glad that was helpful, Shuggy. And we'll answer this question and we'll move on. Is the community tab something you all utilize? If so, what do you use it for? If not, why? Sorry if it's already been mentioned. I think that's a great point on this topic of what you should do before starting your channel. Community tab. You can start to figure out how will you utilize the community tab. Let me tell you something if you don't know. Over this year, next year, and beyond, that community tab will become a bigger deal here on YouTube, because it's such a, let me tell you, I realized this today. YouTube can get a lot of data out of those polls, because you can create polls on your community tab. It's just another place for YouTube to source data for them to make money ultimately. But it's a great way to connect with your community. You can figure out, how do you want to use your poll tab, your community tab? What kind of polls, what kind of messages do you want to use? I haven't made a particular strategy for it. I use it willy-nilly. But for example, I saw someone post recently, and I thought about it doing before, but using their community tab more like a story, like you would update in a story. Like, you know how in a story I might take a picture of my juice. Oh, I'm drinking juice. I'm drinking green juice today. And you might think that's a good idea to, like, try and connect with people and see. But oftentimes that doesn't hit as hard as something valuable. If you want to start connecting with people on little stuff about what you're eating or where you're going, what you're doing, stuff that doesn't have to do with your content, take that somewhere else. Take that somewhere else. People want value, and people want things that have to do with the subject matter of your channel. Let's go back to the health journey example for this particular matter. People would want to see things related to the health journey on the community tab, like updates and things specific to that health journey, not just random lifestyle stuff. So maybe in the health journey example, it would make sense for Shuggy to share a picture of a really healthy meal and share why that's healthy or give some type of value along with that picture. But community tab isn't just for fun and games, it's for value as well. And that's where I'll leave that one. And get back to you guys in a second. So in terms of your brand identity, you guys may not have any graphic design skills. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you fiddled around with Canva and things like that. Let's talk about investing one more time. Not one more time, I'm probably going to bring it up again, but you may want to connect with a quality graphic designer to create your brand identity, or do it yourself if you feel like you want to start there. You could go on Fiverr and find someone in your budget that has a little bit more skills on the graphic design side than you do, and get yourself a simple channel banner, a simple mock-up of what your thumbnails can look like. Utilize these folks. Maybe you have someone in your life, a little cousin who's interested in graphic design, an aunt who may be, friends that may be. Rely on their knowledge to help you with these types of visual elements on your channel. I want to you want to create a brand identity. It's not something you need to worry about in the very beginning, but if you want to take some time before you start your channel to think about this, it's one less thing you have to think about once you actually get going. So brand identity is essentially how a business wants to be perceived by customers. As I've been saying, you should treat your YouTube like a business. Let's take this off. You should treat your YouTube like a business. It is through brand identity design that a brand strives to communicate clearly with the target audience or your target viewers. Brand identity is the combined message transmitted via the brand name, logo, style, and visuals. That's why I said, think about your name. All that plays a part in the perception of who you are here on this YouTube platform. Perception is key, especially when creating video content. So depending on the funds you have available when starting, working with a skilled designer to accomplish this aspect of your channel can be instrumental in making your debut, your YouTube channel launch crisp and professional. So consider it. And then if you want to do it yourself, you can use Canva, you can use Adobe Express. There is things out there for you to do it yourself. But just thinking back to that vision board I suggested to you guys to make for your channel, that's going to be a great resource to ultimately come up with the brand, the branding on your channel. So we're about to get into the actual launch phase. See all that work that you could have done before even really getting into all right, I'm about to post my videos, everything like that. It's worth doing if you have the time. It really is. I just want to see what Abigail is saying. It seems like YouTube is rewarding educational channels. How can I still take advantage of YouTube without having an educational channel that YouTube is really promoting in this era? I think Rosanna kind of touches on that. Value and personal impact matters. That genuine connection is priceless. I feel like this is what YouTube prioritizes all the time. And you don't have to be you don't have to build an educational brand, be an educational channel in order to provide value and have a personal impact on the community you're building. So to the question of how can you still take advantage of it, it's a skill set, it's a skill set to identify how do I provide value? But that is the question that always has to remain in your mind. Whatever it is that your channel is about, value can be comfort. Lifestyle vloggers provide value through comfort. I watch lifestyle vloggers because I just want someone to hang out with. Coziness vibes. That's value. Value can also be entertainment. You watch funny stuff and you laugh and you feel good. That's valuable. That was the transaction there. I made you laugh. I didn't teach you something, but I made you laugh. So it's like identifying what does value look like for you. And once you do that, you'll be able to provide that at scale and get people to watch and stay on your platform. So yeah, value doesn't only come in education. Let's talk about the launch phase. You can muster up the strength one day and be like, you know what? I'm tired of waiting. I'm ready to start my YouTube channel. I'm going to film this video and I'm going to post it today. I love that, those types of starts. It's valuable. But to the person who wants to um, just be a little bit more strategic, you can draft a launch plan and create a YouTube workflow. What is that? Does that sound a little bit like, okay, what's that? Draft a launch plan. That just is you thinking about how and when this launch will happen so that you can start preparing. Like, how and when. You may right now have an idea to start your YouTube channel. You don't have to start that tomorrow. You can plan ahead. Maybe you want to say Q2 just started at the time of me recording this. Maybe you want to say, I'm going to take April, May, and June to work on my branding, think about my branding, do my research and everything that I shared prior to this. But come June 10th, I'm coming up on this YouTube thing. I'm getting started. I'm going to take this next 3 months or few weeks, 4 weeks, however time frame works for you, to work out the nerves, do what I got to do. I'm going to start in private recording, just doing video diaries, talking to the camera so I can prepare. Preparation is like a key word right now in terms of what you can do before you start your YouTube channel. Your YouTube workflow may sound a little bit fancy. That's stuff that content creators use, and you're on your way to being a content creator. You're going to need to create a workflow eventually. I will share, like, you need to create videos in order to understand the workflow that works for you. So all you can do is kind of just like consider this, or with your practice videos, practice recording a video, practice editing it, practice uploading it. You don't have to put it like public for everyone to see, but these are things you can practice. I remember in school, we would get opportunities to practice before an actual test. How can you practice before this test of coming up onto the platform? Your YouTube workflow is how you will create time in your schedule. Most of us have other things we got going on. We don't have all day to do YouTube. How you will create time in your schedule to do the various aspects of creating a video from idea to release. You wrote down the idea. What's next? Do you know that next step? You can write down the steps to thinking about it, to getting it up on the platform. And you can tweak that as you go, but at least you come to YouTube with something to work from, with something to tweak. To do this, you'll have to outline your video creation process and then spread out the task over a period of time that works best for you. I can show you guys an example of like a video creation process. Let me see. Let's go over it really quick just to have an example of like, what am I saying right now? Okay, so let me share my channel. Share my screen. All right, so log line. Basically, what's the point of the video? What is it about? Summarize in one paragraph. I don't do all this stuff every time, but again, I needed something to start from because I had no idea what all it takes to create a video. But yeah, this is a page in my Notion that I use when I'm creating my videos. Here's a research section, brainstorming titles, thumbnails, keywords, video description ideas, resources, content research, database. That's just where, like, if I'm including any uh, articles or whatever in my content, I could put that in there. Scripting, writing out your script. I have a blank space here because I've learned over time, I just like to start with nothing and work it out as I go when creating a script. But if I need an outline, I have the intro, body, recap, outro. Then I have title and description optimization. So I can write down my description for the video, choose the keywords, the cards I want to put at the end screen, first pin comment, next video. And I'm just going through this real quick because this is not necessarily the point of the video, but plan. I recognize I should probably rearrange this, but when planning the video out, I can do a brain dump, think about visuals, the type of shots I want to get, and there's a video planning checklist right here. So you can screenshot that if you want. And then the creation process. You create, film, edit, posts. And there's different things within that. Like look at all these little check boxes right here. It gets serious. Eventually, when you start to take this seriously, you'll see how much is involved with creating just one video. Can anyone watching live testify to that? Or am I the only one that thinks there's hella steps to creating one video? We already looked at that. And then results and reporting, you can see what happened at the time of launching, 48 hours and 1 week. I rarely use this space, but I can't reiterate enough the comfort that comes from just having something like this, having a video creation process. So it's not all stored in my mind. That's where you forget stuff. Okay, so great. So now let's talk about, so on the topic of launch plan, I see Shuggy says a launch plan, that's what I needed. Ultimately though, choose a date on the calendar when you think you want to go, when you want to launch, like when you want to get it off up into the atmosphere and go from there and do what we just talked about. Important in this launch phase though, guys, managing expectations. I still can remember the excitement I had when I was preparing, doing all this stuff to start my YouTube channel. I remember the excitement, and it's hard not to let that excitement kind of like, ooh, what if I get, you start thinking about views, you start thinking about the numbers. Oh, like, are people gonna, you start thinking about stuff like that. So when you've decided that you're ready to enter launch phase, keep in mind that this is a new endeavor you're embarking on, and things may not go as exactly as planned. I had to learn that the hard way because I'm a planner. I like to prepare where I can. And when things weren't going well, it messed with me emotionally. So that's why I want to tell you, stay fluid and stay flexible. Set a date to launch and give yourself a full week of focusing on getting your first video uploaded on that date. A full week. This is especially for people you haven't done no real content before. This is different from the days when we would post on Facebook. This is different, even if you're older. This is different from MySpace. YouTube is the big leagues. Okay, so if you've done all this prep, give yourself time, a week, even a week for one video starting out. I think is cool. But if you've been on TikTok, you've been dabbling in IG Reels, you have some more experience, you can shorten that if you want. But for true beginners, a week is good. And if things inevitably shift, feel comfortable to make adjustments, but the idea is to remain focused until that first video is up. When I say focus, guys, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, but the level of focus that I've put into my channel is paying off. When you want to be a successful YouTuber, 9 times out of 10, you're going to figure it out. And what that means is you're going to figure out how to rearrange all your other responsibilities to make sure you have energy, you have time to give a certain level of commitment to this. Eventually, you may fumble in the beginning, but success comes from commitment. And I just want to say, when launching your video, choose a week, choose a time in your year, choose a place. You may not choose, shit may not go as planned, but try and choose a time in your life where you can give focus for 1 week to get your first video up. If you feel like it's going to be hard for you or there's some barriers in place, focus. And then, guys, it's time to create your first video or batch shoot your content. Now, batch shooting is a a beast. But if you're in a place understanding that I'm going to prepare, then it is what it is. You can take your time and make a few videos at once. That is when I came back to this channel, I made like 2 videos. I filmed 2 videos at once, and it really did help me. But yeah, if you can help it, you want to you in order to launch, you want to have a few, what how can we call this? Like a few muffins in the oven. That's probably not a great analogy, but ideally, you have more than one video ready to go when you launch. And that doesn't mean the video is fully edited, but at least it's filmed. So if you get yourself ready to film one video, why not see if you can film like 2 or 4 more? You know? Um, CJ says, yes, I have to set short goals so I don't procrastinate forever. And CJ testifies, like, yep, a lot of steps to do it right. And that's the thing. Preparation can only get you to a certain point. You're going to learn a lot once you actually get into it, but it's a lot of steps. And Rosanna says batch content is key for those who have busier schedules. Yes, it is key. It will help you stay consistent. Consistency is very important here on YouTube if you want to grow your channel. You just want to play around, or this is a hobby for you. Like I said, you probably haven't liked much of what I said so far. So I give both options to create your first video or batch shoot your content because, as I was just saying, it's not easy to batch. And preparing for 4 videos in advance could actually delay your launch by weeks. That happened to me. I got into a place of that's why I can't stress enough, be flexible and be fluid with this plan and this launch plan. I got into a space where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't record 4 videos. I can't, I basically was delaying my launch because I couldn't do the 4 videos. And eventually I'm like, I can't like wait anymore. I need to just get a video up. So if you originally planned to batch some videos first and it seems overwhelming, feel free to make a pivot. Assess your content creation skill set, your capacity, and the timeline of when you want to launch. And if focusing on getting the first video out and creating videos weekly from there seems more feasible, then go for it. That's what I had to do. But ultimately, you have to make a plan to stay consistent, and batching content ensures that you don't fall off the wagon of creating content to feed your audience weekly. But, I can't stress, I do understand that could be like, whoa, I can barely make 1 video. You want me to make 4 at once? So choose the route that's best for you. Next thing is, let's see what you guys are saying on this topic. I don't know if I showed this already, but batch content is great for busy schedules. Lavender says you mentioned having some videos in your vault. That's a good way to put it, because what did I say? Have some muffins in the oven? You mentioned having some videos in your vault. Batching has made that possible for me, and now things are much smoother. Yes, it is. Things go way better when you can batch, but that's a skill, and you do have to work up to it. For most people. Jesse says, I'm planning on launching with 4 videos dropping the same day, even though there will probably only be a few people who see it. Maybe they will binge watch and hopefully the algorithm picks up. This right here is a real strategy. People with bigger platforms than me, more clout, if you want to call it, than me, or more social proof than me, they say this is a real strategy here. Because if you just start with 1 video and people like the energy, they go to your channel and it's naked, it's bare. They don't really get a feeling for you that well. But if you come to the they come to the channel and there's a few videos related to, the general area, general focus that they're interested in, you have kind of like a higher chance of snagging that person and getting them to subscribe. So I would, if you can do it, starting your channel with more than 1 video is great, because this is not like, if you're treating this as a business and everything like that, views matter, but not in the way that you think or as important as you may think. You creating a YouTube channel is you building a library of videos that represent what you bring to the table. Let's just say it like that. You're building a content library for people to binge, for people to get lost into, to provide value to them. So look at it as that. It doesn't matter what views happen when you first start. All that will change as long as you stay consistent. Um, CJ asks, how long should the videos be? I would shoot for 8 to 12 minutes. If you can create longer videos, go for it. YouTube does, they say YouTube likes longer videos, but YouTube likes videos that people will watch. So that's neither here or there. But I think a good starting point is making videos that are 8 to 12 minutes long. Where do you get that from, Nala? What type of, how did you choose that? Well, when you get monetized, because that's going to happen, videos that are over 8 minutes long can get mid rolls, mid ad rolls, or something like how it's called. So anything below that, I think, can't get as much ads, and that messes up your money. So just get in the habit of creating videos at least 8 to 12 minutes long. And the reason for creating longer videos, you can practice that with live streaming. You can do that with live streaming. And you can do like 20-minute, 30-minute, just test it out. Test out the time frame. But yeah, 8 to 12 is a good place to start. So I think my next point really kind of flows well with what Jesse said about launching with 4 videos. What I was going to say next is tease your existing audience about, oh, this actually has nothing to do with it. Pretend I didn't say that. But the next thing I was going to say, tease your existing audience about the launch of your YouTube channel. Your existing audience it can be people that just love you. This could be your mom, your dad. You may not even have an audience, but you have people in your life that love and support you. So they're part of your audience too. Let them know, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you have a more, if you have an audience on social media somewhere, I think it's worth letting people know you're starting your YouTube journey, you're going to do it. But should you then promote every video you post on YouTube to the folks on Instagram or to the folks on TikTok? In my opinion, no. You want to build an organic audience here on YouTube. And the best way to do that is let the videos get you your subscribers. Let the work that you do on YouTube get you your subscribers. There's nothing wrong with your best friend subscribing to your channel and helping you get to that first 1,000. But oftentimes, the people on your IG, your Facebook, wherever you hang out, they don't necessarily know this level of content creator in you, nor do they really care for real. So there's no, I did it. I would try and make a little IG piece of content along with every video, and it was a waste of time. Like this time around on this second channel, in the beginning, I let people know I was doing YouTube again, but when I came back, I'm not even active on Instagram. All the subscribers I have today came from the platform itself. And that's what you want. You want people genuinely interested in you and the content that you create. So, but only tease this existing audience if you're 100% sure that you truly entered launch phase. How many people have you seen before? Oh, I'm about to start doing YouTube. Never see no activity about YouTube from them. You don't, that adds to your personal brand. That says that you just talk the talk. You just talk the talk. You don't walk the walk. You don't want that. Only let folks know if you're serious. This is not for play. And if you're unsure about your launch and you don't know if things might get switched up, just stay quiet and keep this to yourself. And then once you post your first video, your first few videos, let some folks know. Another way to put it, like, no one likes a dog who is all bark and no action. Don't open your mouth if yeah. So You may want that initial boost in subscribers, and you never know, the audience that you already have, at least a few of them may be genuinely interested in what you're going to be covering on your channel. So next is prepare your launch content for marketing on other social media channels. So you may want to create other visuals and accompanying content to announce to your audience that you finally arrived on YouTube. You can get creative with that. You could get creative. Again, your YouTube channel is like a business. So there can be marketing materials. You can even go out and make flyers if you wanted to. You could go out to your local church and get up there and say, hey, church family, I'm getting on this YouTube thing. You can market yourself in multiple ways. You can even get yourself a booth at the farmer's market and market your channel if you wanted to. It's a business. The product you're selling is the value in your videos. So you can get crafty with that if you want to. These are just ideas to put on your head. And whatever level of marketing you decide to do will drive traffic to your channel, and preparing these assets in advance will make your launch day run more smoothly. It's going to be nice when launch day arrives and you have the different marketing assets ready to go. And then plan to be active on social the day of your launch and share your excitement with your community. You never know who will want to participate in your joy. I am a big believer in sharing your YouTube journey, sharing your excitement, sharing how you're feeling, sharing when you get your first 10 subscribers, your first 50, your first 100. Show us how you're feeling about that. That's not easy. Do you know that, what is it, less than, I don't have the exact numbers for you. I can pull them up, but not a lot of channels make it to 10,000 subscribers. So let's see, creator economy facts. I don't know. Maybe it'll come up. I can't find the article, but I'm basically just trying to say, like, all of this stuff is a big deal. Doing YouTube is a big deal. It's not for everybody, and you should celebrate every part of this that you possibly can. I wanted to say one more thing on launching and actually launching. You also want to document your YouTube journey. So even if you're not the one to share these things out like overtly, still document to yourself, because when you get to 10,000 subscribers or whatever milestone you want to, it's going to be nice to like look back and be like, I remember when I had 5 subscribers, I got 10 views on my videos. It was a grind. It was hard, but I did it and I'm here now. Like, you're going to want to look back on this journey. It's a journey. Don't forget that. I've shared my YouTube journey here on my channel. You can literally watch my road to monetization. And today I'm a fully monetized creator here on YouTube by the grace of God. I'm getting to the money. And you can too. You can too. But I really hope this kind of launch checklist that I had for you. And what I'll do is I'll put, because y'all saw me like looking at notes and stuff, I'll put a link to this in the description box. You just got to give me a second. I have a couple edits to make. You can sign up for my newsletter as well, and perhaps I'll send it to the email folks. But you can watch my road to monetization to get some inspiration or encouragement if you want. If you want to do a live stream like this, I have all that information in the description box. I mentioned that earlier. I just wanted to repeat it again. And what else do I have to say? If you guys have any questions you want to shout out, go ahead and do that. But I think what I shared in terms of all the different things you can do before uploading a video, it allows you to like take a slow and steady approach to YouTube. Because I just feel like a lot of videos on like how to start a YouTube channel, they make it seem simple, like get a camera, record, and everything like that. It's not simple. It's not, this is not a simple thing. Over time, it becomes simplified, but I'm just speaking from experience and where I was at when I started my channel. And I just remember like, oh my gosh, this is a beast. This is a beast to start. There's so many things to consider and think about. There's so many advice that I've already taken in. It can be a whirlwind. So take what I shared in this video and space it out, like move. You don't have to rush into this, but what I want you to do, I want you to start though. I listen, I wanted to start a YouTube in 2016 in like January. I found out about that YouTube is not just for music videos and funny meme type videos at the end of 2015. I was living under a rock. I didn't know. I learned about vloggers. Does anyone know Raven and Lise? I was like, I love Raven. I'm so inspired. I want to start YouTube. I kept saying I want to start. I didn't have like a computer that could edit the video, but I had an iPhone. And ultimately, I kept making excuses as to why I couldn't start. Oh, my background is this, where I live is this. Kept making excuses constantly. When I look back on it, it was an excuse because I did have my phone. I may not have the money to invest or figure it out or anything like that, but eventually I got tired of myself. And I said, I need to start. So please don't just watch this video, and because you can get into a space of just watching videos like this, but not taking action. I outlined all this stuff to help you feel like you're taking action, because the first step isn't buy a camera and record a video, or pull out your phone and record a video. It takes time. Okay, as Sine says, YouTube is difficult work. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is something where you're building a personal brand. So in the future, you can build a strong business brand. This is somewhere where you're building community. You get to connect with people. I love connecting with all of you. I love connecting with all of you here. This is real. Like this. If you want to do this for fun, I'm probably not talking to you. But if you want to do this and really change your life, it is life changing. It is. So I think that's all I have to share with you guys. And I will see you in my next video. You all are amazing. Thank you. Bye bye.